What's up, guys? It's Nonsense Steve, and one of my favorite features of the WWE 2K games is the ability to make the created superstars. So you can make superstars from other wrestling promotions or celebrities or cartoon characters or whatever your imagination can come up with. And what's been really cool since 2K22 came out is you've been able to do custom portraits that go along with that. So it's not just the generic created superstar sitting there when you're looking through the menus. It actually looks like they're more part of the game. But what's very unclear is how to properly size and add those images to the game. I've looked all over for tutorials. I couldn't find any that really helped what I was trying to do, so I made one myself, and I'm giving that information to you. All the resources I use here today will be available for you, so you can use them whenever you want. Let's get into it. Alright, so we're in 2K24, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. So on the left, you see you've got Cody Rhodes, who's in the game, built in the game, made by 2K, and he's got a great picture for him. I downloaded this very excellent Kenny Omega, and I would love to have a Kenny Omega picture that could line up kind of how Cody's does, so it looks more realistic, more like they're both actually members of the game. So instead of having that generic superstar posing there, I would rather have a custom picture. The issue is that I have downloaded like this Jeff Hardy, and you can see he's just a little bit too big, right? Like the perspective, he's too big. He doesn't really fit into that frame, and it's because the framing is kind of weird on the 2K website. Let's get into that real quick. Alright, so if you just go to WWE2K.com, it'll bring you to this page where it's asking you server status, upload images. Above me here, you can see there's this sign in option where you can sign in, choose your platform, it'll link it for you. But all you have to do is click upload images and then choose where it is you're playing the game. Now for me it's Steam, but if you choose PlayStation or Xbox, it'll just redirect you to their website. You log in with your credentials and it'll link it so it knows where to send the images once you're done. So now once we're logged in, you can see you have all of these options for image sizes to upload. You have the generic options here for any images you want to put onto like shirts, clothing, or you can use them for crowd signs, or specifically the crowd sign option down here. Face photos if you're making a create a superstar, which is a complicated process too, but we're not going to get into that. The main thing we're focused on is this custom portrait like I talked about. The problem is that the size that you're given is a 1024 by 1024, and when we go back to the game, this Jeff Hardy is a 1024 by 1024, and you can see it's way too big. Like, he does not fit the way that Cody Rhodes does. He doesn't look the same, it doesn't sync up, it doesn't match up. So how can we adjust the size and know how big to actually make the picture that we want to use? Whenever I'm doing any kind of editing or graphic work like this, I do it in Photoshop, and it's a paid service that I'm not expecting everybody to have, but I'm just showing you that this is how I made it in Photoshop. You can choose to use Photoshop if you have it, that's great, but the best free option online for my money is Adobe Express, which are the people who make Photoshop, so it kind of makes sense. I know Canva is a very popular option, but their free account really doesn't let you do much. You have to do Canva Pro in order to do all of the features like the background removal and the export with the transparent background and all of that stuff that you really need to make these quality images for the game. So we're going to use Photoshop here just for my purposes to make the resources for you, but once you have the resources, you can use them in Photoshop or you can use them in Adobe Express with a free account if that's the way you want to go. So the first thing that I did is I made this square image, the 1024 by 1024, and you can see the boxes here. It's just inside this box is 900 pixels, inside this box is 800 pixels, 700 pixels, etc. Now remember I just showed you that in the game 2K has an image uploaded for Cody Rhodes. I want to upload a similar image for my Kenny Omega. I took this exact image, uploaded it into 2K, and put it on just a generic created superstar so that I could kind of get an idea of how it would line up. And this is the result. So like I said, it's a 1024 by 1024 square image, but you can see it's completely cut off at the top. It goes up to 900, and even then, the 900 is way too tall. It's so much taller than Cody Rhodes is. And you can see even the width, like the width is so much wider than anything that we would want to have our images set at. So what we have to figure out is how can we fit that Cody Rhodes image inside this photoshopped image. So now back in Photoshop, what I did is I took a screenshot of the game to get the full picture and see exactly how it would line up. Then I cut out that Cody Rhodes and just fit him over top of the other superstar, because you can see the name line up in the squares there. So you can see exactly this is how Cody Rhodes is sitting, and he's just barely above that 700 threshold into the 800 pixel area, so it's not that big. So going back to our original image now, I have this big square, and I've got the Cody Rhodes that I know how he lines up and fits within it. So now I've added another outline, a highlighted frame, exactly lined up with the top of Cody's head and each one of his arms, so we know the precise box that we should be fitting our superstar portraits into. So when I remove all of that, it leaves me with this empty background that all we have is this yellow border. So I'm just going to save that as a PNG image, because PNG images are the ones that use the transparent backgrounds. Save that onto my computer, and then we're going to upload it into Adobe Express so that we can make our Kenny Omega portrait picture. Okay, so now we're on adobe.com/express for Adobe Express, and you can see in this upper right-hand corner here, you've got the sign in option. You could click on any of the create buttons up here, the quick actions, templates, any of that stuff. But if you do anything at all without first signing in, it's going to eventually force you to sign in at some point. Like I said, you're just signing in with your email. It's a completely free account. You don't have to pay for anything, buy anything. Just create a free account linked to your email address and then sign in. Okay, so now that we're signed in, we're going to actually create our picture. So we're just going to click this plus over here, and we want a custom size. And the custom size that we want is 1024 by 1024, create new file. Okay, so now we have our 1024 by 1024. We're gonna go to media, upload from device, and then you're gonna upload the custom frame that you download from me, and you're gonna wanna upload any picture that you want to use. Okay, so now I've uploaded the frame and the Kenny Omega picture that I want to use for this. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to click on this Kenny Omega layer over here. And when you click on an image layer in Adobe Express, you get a bunch of different effect and options over here. But I want to click on this one, remove background. And it'll work its magic and just erase that gray that's behind him. Perfect. So now I want to take this frame layer and drag it to the top so that I know that wherever I can see Kenny is what's going to show up properly in the space that I want. So now I'm going to click on this Kenny Omega layer again, and I'm just going to push him up into this frame. And maybe down a little bit. No, that was good. Right there. Okay. And I'm just going to drag the corner until his hand hits the other side. Right about there. Looks good. Okay. So now both hands, arms are completely inside the box. Hair is completely in the box. We're good. So I'm going to click on the frame and press delete on my keyboard to get rid of it. And then up here at the top, I'm going to click background color, and I want to hit the slash to remove that white background so that you just see this checkerboard, which means it's transparent. This is critically important because if you do not do this step, then that white background will show up in the game, and you definitely don't want that. So now we're going to click download, and it automatically defaults to transparent PNG because it knows you have a transparent background. So you're gonna click download, it'll download onto your PC, and then just save that file wherever it is you wanna store it. So back on the 2K website, we're gonna click on custom portrait. That's gonna open up our browse folder, and then you're gonna find wherever it is that you have saved that picture that you just downloaded to upload it here. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and it gives you a little preview of the picture, and I click upload now, agree and submit. And there you go, my uploads, it's sitting there waiting in the queue. So let's go back to the game. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move over to community creations in the online section, image manager, and then incoming images. And there it is. There's the Kenny Omega that we just uploaded. Click the download button, downloading content, perfect. So we'll exit out of that. And then we're gonna go back to community creations in Superstar. We're gonna edit a custom Superstar, and then we're gonna select our Kenny Omega. So edit Superstar, and there's our Kenny Omega. Edit. All right, there's Kenny hanging out. So now we pick personal information, go down to custom images, click on that, and there's the Kenny Omega we just uploaded. So click select, and that's it. Accept, accept again, save. Yes, I'd like to save. So now once this is done loading, it'll kick you back to the main menu, and we're gonna click Superstar again just to check it. Edit. And there you go. There's Kenny Omega with our custom image. If we go back to play now, we can click start. There's Cody Rhodes. And we'll go to created superstars and Kenny Omega. There we go. Lined it up nicely. He fits in everywhere. I think that looks good. It looks like they're both in the game. It looks like they're both actual real characters. It's fantastic. So I hope this information was helpful for you. Again, all of the links and everything will be in the bottom. Like and subscribe. It really helps us out. We appreciate it. And until next time, peace.